sad, sad times. Geno Smith fumbled the game, fumbled the ball, fumbled everything. He fumbled the bag, and we lost in overtime. We weren't even supposed to make it there. This game was such a roller coaster of emotions. It was so bad in the first half. It was so good in the second half. We went into overtime, and there was hope. We didn't do great in the first offensive drive. We played some good defense, and then we got the ball back, and Geno fumbled the bag. And it was over there. Chris Boswell got the easiest possible field goal of his life. It's a tough day, tough loss. But there were definitely positives that came out of this, and a lot of negatives as well. So let's try to go like from the beginning. So we started off horrible. Offensively, we were running, a lot of shotgun plays. We were basically just throwing Geno Smith in the Russell Wilson playbook. It wasn't working. We weren't doing great. I believe we had 60-something yards in the entire first half. Not good whatsoever. We gave up 14 points. Our defense was just getting ran on. We were letting up plays to tight ends. We were just letting just about everything happen, and nothing was going very well for us in the first half. There were some positives from Darrell Taylor in the first half. He was getting some pressure. He was getting held every single play, but still was somehow making somewhat of an impact. But, no sacks, no quarterback hits. He was just getting there. The ball was getting out of Ben Roethlisberger's hands fast. And, we had a couple decent plays from guys like DJ Reed. Alex Collins had one good play in the first half. But we went into halftime down 14-0. Time of possession, we were 9 minutes to 21 minutes. We were doing atrocious. The second half came around. We threw Geno Smith under center, taking him out of that shotgun formation. We made him into, hey, let's hand the ball off. You're going to give the ball to Alex Collins. He's going to get 100-something yards, and then we can run some play action, do some quick passes, do some intermediate passes, and it worked so well. Under center, Geno Smith played absolutely fantastic for at least most of the drives of the second half, and everything was going so well for us. We were getting defensive stops somehow. We weren't having the greatest, defensive drives, but defensively, we didn't let them score a touchdown the entire rest of the game. The second half was great for us, except for, obviously, a few key things. Obviously, Darrell Taylor, he had a really scary neck injury. Reports have come out. He was moving all of his extremities on the ride to the hospital and the ambulance, so that's good to hear. Not paralyzed or anything like that, but, neck injuries are terrifying. You don't want to see that happen at all. Sidney Jones went down, which is definitely a negative, but boy, Trey Brown came in. He looked good. He had a couple good coverage plays. He had an absolutely fantastic third down play in overtime that got us the ball back. But then, of course, Geno Smith fumbled the bag. I believe Damian Lewis got injured this game. I think Alex Collins got injured because he wasn't playing for the last 2 drives, including overtime. A lot of injuries happened this game for us, and really, we almost had it. We got into overtime. We had a very good, what I think it was a minute and a half drive that we had, 2 timeouts, minute and a half. We put together a good drive, got into field goal range. DK Metcalf almost fumbled the entire game away. He tried to get some extra yards. The ball got punched out. Freddie Swain jumped on top of it. Apparently, Russell Wilson ran onto the field and was screaming at Freddie Swain to get up. Freddie Swain sprinted to the line of scrimmage. He got the ball clocked with 1 second left. And the Steelers fans were pissed because the refs decided they wanted to review, the fumble, even though somehow they were trying to say DK Metcalf didn't, catch the ball, even though he caught it, stood there and ran for 5 yards. That whole thing was confusing. But Steelers fans were really mad that the Seahawks got 3 seconds left on the time to actually run the play to spike the ball. But we got the ball clocked anyway with a second, maybe even 2 seconds left on the clock initially. So, we made the field goal. We went into overtime. And then the fateful thing happened. First offensive drive, terrible. First defensive drive wasn't perfect, but Trey Brown had an absolutely magnificent play. He had that great, he was on Chase Claypool. He took off. He was like, all right, Chase Claypool, I'm getting help. And he straight sprinted down to, I believe it was Ray McLeod. It may have been Deontay Johnson. Someone. He sprinted down, 3rd and 4. He got the stop. He only let 2 yards happen. 4th down, we got the ball back. And then Geno Smith lost us the game. Now, I don't want to say that Geno Smith had a bad game. He didn't have a bad game. Second half, Geno Smith looked good. Alex Collins looked absolutely amazing. I don't know what happened to him. He got injured. It's unfortunate. I mean, this was a solid game. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect us to do this well. I was really hopeful, but I really wasn't seriously expecting us to do as well as we did. We were very competitive, and, we showed resilience. Going into halftime down 14-0, we could have just laid down on our backs and let us lose 30-something to 0. But we didn't. We came back, we played football, we changed some things on offense. I was really enjoying the second half. I was getting into it. I was happy. It was really nice. We went to overtime. I was excited. I was like, all right, we're doing good. We had that play to Tyler Lockett. It was like, oh yeah, this is going great. And then everything went downhill. That's how the Seahawks, that's how being a Seahawks fan is. You have the really up, the really down. There's really never anything in between. You're either thinking like this guy in the back. You're either, or you're, oh my God, this is the greatest team ever. And then, boom, you get shot right back down to earth to look like that guy again. Sad game. But I think it showed that we can possibly compete. Our defense didn't play fantastic, but they played pretty gosh darn good in the second half. This was like the opposite of what we do in other games, where we do good in the first half, second half we fall apart. We did horrible in the first half. Second half, we came together. If we can do what we did in that second half, the entirety of next game, I think we stand a chance. Geno Smith, Alex Collins, even though we won't have Darrell Taylor, we might not have a couple other guys, I believe in us. Trey Brown looked very good. I'm kind of excited about that pick. If he can play like how he played today, then that 4th-round pick on Trey Brown was worth it. But we'll have to see. There's more to watch. But today, it's a sad loss, very depressing. But I think it shows potential of things to come. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this. Sad game, but I think there are some positives that come out of this. But like I said, let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Boy, oh boy. It sucks to be a Seahawks fan.